Well, good morning. Beautiful start to a beautiful day. So it's another day of being absolutely blessed. Not only am I sober, but I'm walking the beach. What I want to talk about today is the phrase, half measures availed us nothing. You know, when you take just the phrase itself, half measures availed us nothing. Well, I tell you what, I could do 6 videos on just that phrase alone. See, I'm a firm believer that you got to give this thing 100%. You know, if you're in recovery, you're giving it 100%. If you're giving it 98%, to me, you're not in recovery. You're not giving it all you can give it. You are either in recovery or you're not in recovery. There's no middle ground. So when I hear the phrase, half measures availed us nothing, that means that if you're not in this thing 100%, you're wasting your damn time. That's actually taking that phrase out of context. Where that comes from is out of how it works. And not only is it from the chapter how it works, but it's from the actual reading of how it works that we do at every meeting. That portion of the chapter, how it works, that's where it comes from. Half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and care with complete abandon. That's the paragraph, okay? Each paragraph has its own message, if you will. That paragraph, half measures availed us nothing. We stood at the turning point. We asked his protection and care with complete abandon. To me, what that says, if the abandonment is incomplete, it avails us nothing. That doesn't mean that you can't use that in other areas, but that abandonment of self is key. The whole program is about ego deflation. And what is ego? Self. That's what it is. Less of me and more of him. That really is very important in recovery. The more I glorify me and my thinking and my behaviors and everything, the less I'm considering God and others. So I think it was important to put that particular phrase into context, the way that it was used in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, because it gets used in a lot of different areas. You know, I even heard about an alcoholic who was out on a slip at a bar, orders a shot of whiskey, and the bartender gives him a short shot, and he bangs on the bar and says, "Hey, half measures avail us nothing." I don't think that's what it means. That doesn't mean that we can't find other ways that it applies. And one of those ways is in how much effort we're putting forth in our recovery. And I have to say that for this alcoholic, I have to give this thing 100%. Otherwise, I'm wasting my time. Drinking, I didn't give it half measures. I went all out. And most of us alcoholics did. I open up a pack of Oreos, I don't go half measures. I eat more than my share of them, believe me. I really and truly have to give this all my effort. I relate recovery, and I've related it this way before, maybe you guys remember, but I relate recovery to roller skating uphill. Think about it. That takes effort. If you're going uphill on a pair of roller skates, ain't no coasting involved. You try coasting uphill on roller skates and you're going to go backward. Well, it's the same way in recovery. It doesn't take a lot of effort, but it takes consistent, daily effort. And I don't think that's asking too much, especially when we're talking about a life-saving mission. You know? I mean, if you're trying to save your life, you just sort of do it, or do you do it all out? I mean, come on, let's save our lives here, right? People die from alcoholism. I don't want to see that anymore. I want to see people recovering. They say you can only get what you give. Well, if you're only giving 50%, you're only getting 50%. So just think, if you gave 100%, doesn't it stand to reason that you would get 100%? So that means you'd get 50% more than you're getting now. Think about that. I mean, I don't think there's any limitation to the gifts that I can receive in recovery. Life is fantastic now. Life is beautiful now. My relationships, they're pretty good now. My finances, they're okay now. There was a time not that long ago when I was in trouble in all those areas. But I'm doing pretty good now. So I have to ask myself, and I challenge every one of you to ask yourself, am I giving it half measures? Am I giving this recovery thing 100%? Now, I can't say that 100% of my life is wrapped around recovery, because there are times when I'm not thinking about recovery. I'm not thinking about drinking. I'm not thinking about doing the wrong thing. I'm just living my life. And I think that's what recovery is all about, is being able to get to that point where you can just enjoy life. And, you know, it's instinctual. I have a trip coming up with my 7-year-old grandson. We'll be going to Busch Gardens. You think I'm going to be thinking about recovery there? Maybe not. But when I was there probably 25 years ago, they had free beer. It is Busch Gardens, you know. Of course, the line was long as can be, and I'd get as many cups as I could carry. But they, I don't know if they still do that or not. But I'm certainly not worried about it, because it's just not where I'm at anymore. And the reason is because I give this thing continual effort. Like roller skating uphill, it takes continuous effort on my part. I wake up and I thank God for my recovery. I thank God that I'm sober, and I give Him all the credit. It's not me, it's Him. So anyway, ask yourself, are you giving this thing 100%? Are you all in recovery? Because I believe if you're not all in, you're not in at all. I encourage you each to give it just a little more effort, because it pays off in the end. You guys have a great day, and I guess I'll see you on the next video, right? Bye-bye.